I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday races at Hastings.
Yep.
Preakness Day, it's going to be a lot of fun. Preakness Day is 142nd running of the Preakness, 7 live races on our May 20th program. And
I think we'll get a good crowd up for it. It's funny, you know, it takes so long. We watched all spring, we watch these prep races that come up, and they're a month apart, you know, and then you wait for the, you know, the Bob Lewis, and then a month later it's the San Diego Derby, and all of a sudden then the Kentucky Derby happens in bang. 2 weeks it's the Preakness, 3 weeks. It happens so quick. Yeah. Once you finally get here, it's the most exciting time for our industry is Triple Crown time, and Preakness Day is Saturday, so get out to the races or out here to the Derby Bar and Grill.
Still seats available.
Still seats available, yep.
Pretty full, but still there's some, you can squeeze you in.
We still have room.
If you're not heading out to the Hastings, if you're in the South Surrey area, come on out to the Derby Bar and Grill and watch the Preakness. There'll be lots of racing, obviously simulcasting as well. Okay, let's go to the Hastings races. In race number 1, we'll start with that. Fillies and Mares, $4,000 claimers, non-2 lifetime, only 6.5 furlongs. I think the 4-horse Zygo really stamped herself first time out with a good runner-up effort to touch a green, who was dropping in class in that race. Actually, she overstepped the condition in that one. She was a non-3, or she's a non-2 and a non-wins a 3 race, but she gets back into her own condition here. I thought she ran really, really well. She's facing horses like the 2 Forever Crystal and the 3 Toichi Toichi, who are both distance horses. I just think this is her race to win. I think Zygo wins at a short price. Maybe defeats the 1-horse La Rondine, who made her Hastings debut. A no threat, pretty much was last throughout. Didn't show us a whole lot. That was in an open 12-5. Gets in against non-2s in here. That's a big drop, huge drop for her.
Yeah.
Looks like one that might want to run a little farther, but if Zygo loses, it'll probably be to the 1 La Rondine, and I put the 6-horse Sweet Home in the mix. She wasn't disgraced in her last after a bit of a wide trip, but I do like Zygo. I think it's 4-1.
I'm trying to beat her. She, as you mentioned, she's going to be heavy favorite. I'm trying to beat her with La Rondine. Phil Hall stable is going great guns right now. Him and Enrique Gonzalez teaming up well now. And as you mentioned, that's a much tougher race. She spends my lead Stormstalker. Considerably tougher mares. Now she drops into a 4 non-2. Not only does she go from 12-5 down to 4, she gets into a condition race, a non-2. I put her on top of Zygo, going to try and beat her. It's between those two.
I think so, too. I think
After that, I put Forever Crystal. Rob Maven's having a good year. Last time we saw this filly, she's better going along, but last time we saw her, broke her maiden by 8 last year over Cashville, so I'll put Forever Crystal in the 3rd spot. 1-4-2 for me in the 1st. On to the 2nd, Fillies and Mares, maiden $16,000 claimant event. 6.5 furlongs, field of 7 in here. And I did go to the 7, a Star to Be. I thought a very encouraging race in that first maiden special weight of the year behind Anstrom, who is live in the stake on Monday. Remember this week we run on Monday, not on Sunday. Anstrom's live in that stake. Bombay is in a maiden special weight. She'll be the favorite. Eco Charge. And she ran 4th in there, right? Behind Eco Charge, Bombay, Anstrom. Those are much tougher fillies. Drops into a 16,000. Mark Kluche got off to Schneid the other day in a big way. His partner's going great guns. I got Star to Be on top of Cool Candy. Now lands for owner Praven Sorensen and trainer Taylor Anderson. They bought her out of the
Hastings Paddock sale.
Hastings Paddock sale.
April 30th.
Still showing her Keeneland.
Still
showing her Keeneland price on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they paid $15,000 for her. They don't get aggressive with her. Put her right, nice maiden 16. Another one coming out of that very tough Anstrom Bombay race. She was just behind the Star to Be, my top pick, so I gotta respect her. Does add blinkers and adds David Lopez, who is absolutely en fuego right now. Yeah. David Lopez, 10 for 34. He's batting 30%. Good rider, great guy, David Lopez.
He is.
Cool Candy in 2nd, and I put Free and Fast. Robbie Anderson Barn, last time we saw her was in the Sale Stakes, running 2nd behind Theodore Claire. 9 lengths in front of 3rd horse Chestnut's Gold. Shows up for $16,000 claimant event, first out for trainer Robbie Anderson. Free and Fast for me in the 3rd spot. 7-3-6.
Yeah, I agree. The 7-horse Star to Be is in a great spot. There's not a lot of speed in here, other than the 2-horse Prettier Than You. Star to Be should get a good tracking trip, or I might even have the lead.
Yeah.
Her race against better fillies.
It's to her inside, so she's in a good spot. Yeah.
I just think Enrique Gonzalez has got a lot of options with her, and I think she's going to be pretty tough to outrun. I agree with the 3 Cool Candy. Goes in blinkers for the first time. Dreadful trip on sale day, actually. She didn't run the day of the sale. And was 4 and 5 wide the entire trip, and just had one of those unlucky goes when you have the 10-hole.
See, the 10-hole and a 6 furlongs
is like,
that's
it's
brutal.
a death sentence.
Yeah.
And you know, it happened.
It turned out that way, yeah.
Yeah, but she's live. She's better in that race, and she's also on the class drop. I put the 2 prettier than you, another class dropping filly in for third. I went 7, 3, and 2, but I agree with the 7 start to be. On to the third race, 16,000 $16,000 conditional claimers here.
Good race.
Going 6.5 furlongs, non-2 or non-3 BC bred. The 8-horse Omega Victory won this race a couple weeks back, and after battling hard on the pace with, I think of the horse's name. Oh, it was one of Jon Snow's. Anyways, Rock Concert.
Yeah,
Rock. Went with Rock Concert through a demanding opening half, and this horse still held very gamely at the end. I don't see anyone to go with him. I have a lot of. I think there's maybe better horses in here, but this horse is a good, solid sprinter.
He is.
I just think he's going to get the lead in here. Mighty Mesa and Sunset Drive, and We Found Gold are the only other 3 horses, I think. I put Mighty Mesa in for a second. Got a really good ride by Richard Hamill last time. Really slapped him on the behind to get him out there in contention. I don't know if he'd be as prominent. He had a perfect trip. He laid a perfect third last time. Had every chance to win, but wasn't good enough. Omega Victory earned that win. Sunset Drive kind of got shuffled back. That might be a bit of your long shot play. Good, Enrique Gonzalez takes over for the injured Antonio Reyes. And the 4-horse, We Found Gold, might be better going longer. This horse can sprint too. His word tap's excellent. This horse has been going well. David Lopez has been aboard as well. I went 8, 5, and 4, but I think the speed of the 8 Omega Victory is going to make him very tough to beat.
I went. I just see him. He ran a huge race last time, no doubt. I just don't know if he can repeat that again in 2 weeks, which is why I'm going to side with the guy who just missed. I'll go with Mighty Mesa on top. Just missed to him last time. I think Omega Victory, maybe We Found Gold goes with him. Maybe somebody needs to soften him up. But I just thought seeing him come back and run another race like that in 2 weeks, I think is a lot to ask. So I'm going to try and beat him because he is going to be your favorite. I put Mighty Mesa to beat him. Nancy Betsbarn going great guns right now. I put Sunset Drive in second. Only got beat 2 lengths behind Omega Victory last time. And Omega Victory had a race. Sunset Drive hadn't. Now he's got a race under his belt.
Both of them had Mighty Mesa, and both of them had.
Yeah, both of them had a race, and Sunset Drive hadn't.
He'll be better. He'll be way better.
Antonio Reyes, hopefully recovering after a nasty spill in the morning. Enrique Gonzalez, who's having a very strong meet, does take over for Antonio Reyes. I got Sunset Drive in second, and I put Omega Victory in third. Just thinking he's going to be vulnerable back in 2 weeks. Maybe he does. Maybe he comes back and he runs that race again. If he does, he's going to win. But I think he regresses a little bit, so I'm trying to beat him. I went 5, 1, and 8 in the third. On to the fourth, Maiden 8 for 3 and up. Field at 10 here, going 6 furlongs. I went to the 2, Humphrey Ladd. I thought a good effort for 16 in his first out this year. Field at 9, he split the field, he ran 4th behind Imposing Cat, Jackson Teller, Heath Gatsby. Those guys are back in for 16 on Monday, I believe. Yep. Cuts his price in half for a top outfit, Mike Anderson. Adds blinkers. Not a lot of tough other horses in here. He's got it out this year, which we've seen make a big difference. I got Humphrey Ladd on top of Chase the Money, the Dave Milburn runner in here. One that's been running, comes out of the Bob Hess barn out of Northern California. Those horses with the winter race, and we've seen be very dangerous early on in this meet. And Enrique Gonzalez, he's fit to take the call. I got Chase the Money in second. And in third, I went with a 3, If You Can. Mark Cluche's barn's going very well, too. And we saw Catch Me win the other day. His stablemate and name mate, If You Can. I put him in the third spot, 2, 9, and 3. For me, in a good field of 10 in the fourth race.
Yeah, I agree with the 2 Humphrey Ladd on the class drop. Blinker change, going to remove them. Dangerous speed. That was so much better company. Imposing Cat was that was a maiden allowance horse.
Yeah.
He ran for 16 last year. It's the only reason he was in for a maiden 16 because he was protected. And that race came up really tough, and this horse actually ran quite well. I don't see a lot of speed in here. Maybe devil in my head. I think Humphrey Ladd gets a really good trip right up near the pace. He's your horse to beat. I put the 10 horse Lucky Ending in for second. He is stepping up from maiden 4 to maiden 8, but he had a dreadful trip. He got squeezed leaving the gate, spent much of the trip in 4 and 5 path, which may happen again. But I just like the way he, against slow fractions, was passing horses, and for me, he's worth following back. And I put the 3 horse If You Can in for third, who goes in blinkers on for If You Can. Amadeo Perez, as you mentioned, for Mark Cluche. Of course, they connected with Catch Me If You Can. The other one, 2-10-3 for me in the fourth race. On to the fifth. This is a $4,000 claimer, non-winners of the year or non for a lifetime, and 5 horse here. Power Corrupts on the class drop. I got to try this one. Kind of got bounced around leaving the gate last time. Didn't get early position. That I hate 6 furlongs here at ACs. This is a tough trip. It's a tough race. And this
we go
horse,
to 6.5 now, yeah.
4 horses in a 10-horse field have dreadful trips, and it's just there's too many horses that can't find position with the short run to the turn. That's why you see so many horses have some unfortunate trips, and this one did. But down for 4, this horse should be, and at 6.5, as you mentioned, should be really dangerous. Put the 8-horse Majestic Mark, my old buddy, liked him last time. Richard gave a good ride to beat him. This horse was best, but Silvino kind of got tricked into a couple of spots, and he didn't look good on this horse last time, and Power to Believe defeated Majestic Mark. He's live, and the 2-horse Ace Deuce. You know, he was, last time probably was the time because he was parlaying some winter racing and was going to catch horses that hadn't been running. Might be better going long. He is better going longer, but I don't know how much I want to invest in him at a short price going sprinting again. But especially, you know, he did have a tough trip though. But I really like the 5 Power Corrupt and 5 and 8. Those are my 2. I went 5, 8, 2.
I got the same horse, a slightly different order. I agree with you. I put Power Corrupt on top. That was, I mean, a considerably tougher event last time. Merlot, Prince Hotel, Nana's Buddy. He only got beat a nose by Nana's Buddy, only 2.5 by Prince Hotel. Any one of those 3 are in here. And
that'd be 1 to 9.
Exactly, especially the top 2, Merlot or Prince Hotel. Power Corrupt. And now he's got the race under his belt for a top outfit. Now he comes in with a race, cuts his price in half, has to be respected in here. I got Power Corrupt on top of Ace Deuce. I went Ace Deuce in the 2nd spot. Similkameen Luke got away from him last time. Yeah. And it was tough to run down. The fact that they
6
got
furlongs didn't do him any favors.
Exactly, and so nobody went with Similkameen Luke. The fact that they got within a length and a half of him, he only got beat a nose by any races. The fact that they came running and got within a length and a half of him, I thought was commendable. And that's why I'm going to go back to Ace Deuce. Phil Hall having a banner year. Ace Deuce in 2nd, and Majestic Mark, who has to be respected. Always tough at this level, and will be a short price again in my 3rd spot. 5, 2, and 8 for me. Same horses, Mike, slightly different order. I know a good race here. Filly Mares, maiden special weight. Going 6.5, field at 10. I landed on this horse is going to be favorite. Number 3, Bombay, out of the Tino Condolinos barn. Only beat a half. I went back and watched that race today, and that was a very good race out of Bombay. Anstrom, as I mentioned, a nice filly who's going to be is live in the stake on Monday. Yeah. Made a big move. Bombay made a big move too. She was shuffled back early. It was the first start of her life. She never got started last year as a 2-year-old. First start of her life. She got shuffled back early, made a very nice move, and only got beat a half by Anstrom. She figures to move forward in this. Love Bombay in here under David Lopez. Got Eco Charge in 2nd spot. If you like Bombay, Eco Charge made a nice move too. That's the thing too. Eco Charge had races, so she was a little bit more seasoned. Yeah. It was Bombay's first start, so I give the nod to Bombay. But Eco Charge, very live for Ralph Jessiak in here as well. Good 3rd behind Bombay. Out of a live race. And about Rob Gilker's Manhattan Fashion. Hasn't ran in a year, but was knocking heads with some nice fillies down in California. As a 3-year-old last year, she's a 4-year-old, so that helps this time of year. Yeah. You know, was running maiden special weights and good 3rd and a maiden 50 down there. Those races aren't soft. So Rob Gilker obviously having a very good meet. He's only run 2. He had a 2nd in the stake and a win with Tinderette. And him and Amadeo Perez, always very dangerous together. 3, 4, 9 for me. Yeah,
I got the same 3. Like I said, they put Eco Charge on top. This horse would have been best last time with a clean trip. The apprentice kind of tried to go through on the inside of it. I think it was Swaying, and who was one of the favorites with Rico Walcott up. And this horse got stopped cold, had to lose position, came back. Before you know it, Bombay was sitting in front of him at the quarter pole, and but Eco Charge ran on very well. It's Eco Charge and Bombay. Both have excellent resumes. That was a good first race. And Manhattan Fashion, I agree. The horse is a 4-year-old. That's a big edge. And I don't know if the horse can run at all, you know, or great. You know, hasn't gotten near a horse in a lot of the races, but the work has been decent. And you just look around where to go next, and I wasn't sure, but I always like the side with the 4-year-olds. Good connections, Rob Gilker, Amadeo Perez, done a lot of good together. 4, 3, and 9 in race number 6. On to the 7th and final. We got some $8,000 claimers here going 6.5 furlongs. This race come up pretty tough.
It is. This is a very good race to close out the card.
Yeah, I went the 7 Born at the Track. I thought this horse was pretty solid in its comeback race. raced much of the trip in the four-path, and usually when speed horses spend the trip in the four-path, they get beat a pile of lengths. But this horse was battling right to the end with Lassie's Reward. Ended up running second, but I thought it was a commendable effort. David Lopez takes over for Enrique Gonzalez, who's opting to ride Sedin. But that's a tough call. But I like Born at the Track. The blinkers were off last time. I don't see as much speed in here. I think this horse gets to sit off of the 4 Prince Hotel. Other than that, this race is really weak for speed. And I think someone up near the head end is going to be dangerous. I put Prince Hotel in for second. I don't see a wicked pace duel. I see a 23 flat, maybe opening quarter. And I don't know if I'll get that, but both of them are going to be very dangerous. And I put the 8 horse Lassie's Reward in for third. Good, a really good win last time, but still a pace-aided win. And this horse is, it's a consistent horse. Does lose his winning pilot. Makes his first start in another barn, and we'll see how that one goes. But I did leave out Slicer Red. I did leave out Sedin. Both not the best sprinters at all. They're not sprinters. They're route horses. And but at this level, they might be able to win. Who knows? We'll see. But I went 7, 4, and 8 to close it out.
It shows it's a competitive last race. I have totally different horses.
Yeah.
Slicer Red for me, it's got to be tough in here. Last year he beat.
Oh, his company lines are great.
Calgary Caper and Burnham by 5. He's won 5 races. I know he's better at a distance, but he's won 3 of his 5 wins have come at 6.5. So facing this company, he's got to be tough. Last time we saw him, he was getting beat length and a half by Uncle Willard for 35, an optional 35. Before that, a length and a quarter by Shooting Jacket. He finished above Twist Grips last year, who was the top higher claimer horse. Calgary Caper he beat by 5, who was the older horse of the year. It's got to be Slicer Red for me. I don't know why he's in for 8. Maybe something's gone amiss with him.
Yes, it has.
But May 4th, he works in 59 and 4, so he's still got.
He's got right. He's a nice horse.
He's got a little jam in him still.
Never doubt his ability.
Slicer Red for me. I put Merlot in the second spot. Just won at this level fairly comfortably by 2 1/4 over a bunch of these guys like Prince Hotel and Nana's Buddy. Hamill sticks with him, of course. Merlot in the second spot. I put Sedin, another one with the company lines. Fired nicely off the bench last year, a third behind Sabado Alegre and Shooting Jacket and an optional 50. Mark's horses are running good. If he can come close to that first off the bench this year, he's going to be a handful in here. And Enrique Gonzalez rides him. I went 1, 6, and 3 in the nightcap. That'll do it for our selections. For the Hastings races, we're going to do we'll go over our picks for the Hastings races now, and then we will touch on the Preakness. Mike, as always, you're up first.
There we go. Back in race number 1, I went to the 4 horses. I go 4, 1, 6. Race number 2, the 7. Star to be. You're going to go 7, 3, and 2. Race number 3, I went to the 8. Omega Victory. 8, 5, and 4. Race number 4, the 2. Humphrey Lad. 2, 10, and 3. Race number 5, the 5. Power Corrupt. 5, 8, and 2. Race number 6, the 4 Eco Charge over to the 3 Bombay. 4, 3, 9 for me in the 6th and the 7th and final. Born at the Track. Number 7. I'm going to go 7, 4, and 8. On to Drew's picks.
Back in the first, I went with the 1, La Rondine over the 4 and the 2. The second, I agree with Mike, number 7, A Star to Be over the 3 and the 6. In the third, number 5, Mighty Mesa over the 1 and the 8. In the fourth, I went to the 2, Humphrey Lad over the 9 and 3. In the fifth, I went to the 5, and I'm with Mike again here on Power Corrupt over the 2 and the 8. In the sixth, I went to the 3, Bombay, nice maiden special weight race over the 4 and the 9. And in the nightcap, the 7th, I went to number 1, Slicer Red over the 6 and the 3.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicapper's Corner.
Wait, we got the Preakness, Mike.
Oh, yeah, we got to roll.
Don't run away yet.
348, Preakness.
The 142nd running of the Preakness. I will start.
Okay.
Always Dreaming has to be respected here. Of course, the Derby winner. Mike likes him, but Conquest Mo Money, the 10 horse coming out of the Arkansas Derby. The horse ran second to him in the Arkansas, or second story to Classic Empire. In the Arkansas Derby, does come into this race under George Carreno. We saw him ride out in Northlands and, of course, Turf Paradise. He goes. He pressures Always Dreaming, and looking at Lee.
Wins the money.
Wins the money out of Langara Lass for breeder Ray Hansen, who's coming up to watch the race here on Saturday. Good to see Ray. Great second behind Always Dreaming the Derby. I picked him at 33 to 1. Actually, me and Mike gave you the exactor that day, which paid $3.50 or something like that. But Always Dreaming is going to get pressured today. Now, I know it's an 1/8 of a mile shorter, so 3/16, so it's a 1/16 of a mile shorter. But I just feel that Always Dreaming gets pressured. It sets up nicely for Looking at Lee. You want to see the homebred here. Looking at Lee win it. After Respect Always Dreaming, I got him in second spot. In Classic Empire, we've gotten a lot of trouble in the Derby. I put him in the third spot. I went 9, 4, and 5
Yeah, the 4. I like the 4. Always Dreaming in the Derby. I got to follow him back. Didn't deter me at all. Chased a fast pace and.
Yeah, he was impressive. That's no doubt.
The closers were prominent at the end. Any speed horses were gone. And he was the only horse that was up near the lead in the 20-horse field that hung around, and actually hung around quite nicely, winning by 3 lengths. But he's a cool horse. He's not overly, been busy throughout his career. I just think he can come back in 2 weeks. He's a big skookum horse. The 126 pounds, and coming back in 2 weeks shouldn't bother him. I agree. Classic Empire, tough trip. Looking at Lee, ran great. I went 4, 5, and 9. But Always Dreaming for me in the 142nd running of the Preakness. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of our picks. There's Drew's
me
picks.
Looking at Lee.
9,
You're not going to get
5.
35 to 1 on him today, but I'd love to see him out of the winner's circle. 9 looking at Lee.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Over the 4, Always Dreaming, the 5, Classic Empire.
My picks, I had the 4, I just kind of transposed them a bit. 4, 5, and 9, but I'd love to see Looking at Lee. I agree. That'd be a lot of fun to see him win it. Of course, I'm out of a mare that ran here at Hastings.
And the Grand Dam.
Capilano,
and then Langara Lass, and the sisters, Madeira Park, Ambleside Park.
A bunch of them that raced right here at Hastings. So a lot of local ties to the 9-horse. Looking at Lee. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Handicapper's Corner, special Preakness edition, May 20th program at Hastings. First race is at 1:50, 7 races. The Preakness, as I mentioned, goes at 3:48 or thereabouts, just before 4 o'clock, a little, quarter to 4. And if you're not heading out to Hastings, please do come out here to the Derby Bar and Grill if you're out in this area. It's a great atmosphere to watch races, and a pretty comfortable spot, good food and everything.
And a reminder, so we race Saturday, we skip Sunday.
Yes, we do.
And then we're back racing on the holiday Monday.
Yep, holiday Monday, 8 races, 2 stakes races, the Ross McLeod and the 3-year-old race, I forget the name of it anyway. There's 3-year-old colts going 6.5, the 3-year-old fillies going 6.5 as well. So 2 stakes races, actually the races 1 and 2. Yeah, they're only 5-horse fields, headed by Dazzlin' Dawn and newcomer AP Zona and the 3-year-old, and Fall at Last, the great Tracy horse that won by a pile lengths in 110 and change. So that's his return to the races at Hastings. So 2 good stakes races on the Monday. Of course, first race at 1:50. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill for Handicapper's Corner.